That stands, that's a real problem for Canelo because he will just be switching, and you don't know where the shots are coming from, and it's so easy for him to do so. And I think the thing that really made me appreciate him is there's many times where I've seen people try and trade with him and slug it out. And
I don't know if it's reachable for him. If anybody can do it, it's him, and I'm contradicting myself. I just don't see it happening, you know? Could it happen? Yeah, it's boxing.
One Terence Crawford is reportedly training with Gennady Golovkin ahead of his fight with Canelo Alvarez, and the news has shaken the boxing world. The two are said to be working together to sharpen Crawford's power, timing, and ring IQ, with Golovkin's experience guiding him. This partnership could give Crawford the extra edge he needs for the toughest fight of his career. Analysts agree Crawford is not an ordinary fighter. He is a rare talent who combines speed, timing, and the unique ability to read opponents with precision. Known for switching stances smoothly and adapting mid-fight, Crawford's boxing IQ is often described as genius level. He can break down opponents step by step, controlling fights with intelligence and strategy. Many see him as not just great, but truly amazing in how he dominates the ring.
But if there is anyone who can do it, it's Terence Bud Crawford, a man who survived getting shot in the head, for God's sakes. Like, he is not normal. He is a wizard of boxing. He's got genius IQ, one of the smartest boxers I've ever seen, and he can do it all. He's had over 40 fights. I can't ever remember seeing him like shook or worried. I mean, this is, trained killers trying to take his head off, and he never looks out of pocket. He is like a rapper who just turns up and figures out his lines on the fly and still makes it sound like the best song you've ever heard. Like, that's how amazing he is. Like, I've never seen anyone who can fight out both stances the way Crawford can. I mean, he looks so natural in either stance. That's a real problem for Canelo because he will just be switching, and you don't know where the shots are coming from, and it's so easy for him to do so. And I think the thing that really made me appreciate him is there's many times where I've seen people try and trade with him and slug it out, and when they stand in the pocket and they just go for it. And even in those situations where usually both of you are getting hit, he still manages to hit and not get hit. It's like he's in the Matrix. And this isn't against average fighters. This is against the best in the world at 4 different weight classes. And he's made it look easy pretty much every time he's moved up. I think in the Errol Spence fight, that was a fight that was supposed to be 50-50. The pressure was on. A lot of people thought he was going to lose that fight. He made that look like a boxing lesson. And the reason is when Errol Spence would throw a punch and not get out of the pocket quick enough, he would make them pay every single time. And if people are worried about Canelo's feet being slow, if there's anyone who can punish that, it's Terence Bud Crawford. In terms of weaknesses, these guys, they don't really have weaknesses. They've just got things that they maybe not as amazing at. That's the level we're talking here. Canelo has been accused of being a bit of a slow starter, and that could be a problem in this fight.
Boxer Michael Fox pointed out that Crawford's only real disadvantage is weight. Moving up to face a naturally bigger and stronger fighter like Canelo is a huge challenge. The size difference could allow Canelo to pressure Crawford physically. Still, Fox believes Crawford holds the advantage in almost every technical area. His footwork creates angles that frustrate aggressive fighters, his jab is sharp and precise, and his timing is elite. Most importantly, his ring IQ allows him to adjust tactics instantly. Fox says if Crawford can handle Canelo's power and stop him from dictating the pace, he has every chance to outclass the Mexican superstar.
I would like to see Bud pull it off. Thing about it is, the only disadvantage Bud really has is the weight. I think he has all the skills and attributes that are required to beat a guy like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's kind of flat-footed. You've seen the fights with Bivol and Laura and even School, who didn't do much, but you see that movement irritates Canelo. You know what I'm saying? When dudes that know how to control the range and stuff like that, he didn't look like the world beater. You know what I mean? The motherfucker that sat in front of him, them dudes that sat in front of him, we see what he did with him. You know what I mean? But guys like Bivol, who was bigger, but he bouncing in and out. Laura, motherfucking landing counter lefts, he's circling out, and that shit was fucking with Canelo. Floyd, you know, it probably killed him that Floyd was always only an inch away.
Yep.
Just a little step back, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, God, I feel like I missed by a mile.
That's
So,
crazy
but-
because he didn't use no movement.
Right.
He stood in the pocket on it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Triple G was. You said G? Triple G?
No, I said Floyd didn't use no
Oh,
movement.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. He was always where he needed to be in the ring. He was always where he needed to be in the ring. I'm in there land, then I'm just right here. In there land, but now I'm right here. It was a bad motherfucker, Joe. Like that's what more than gotta understand. Floyd was a bad motherfucker. But the movement, having good feet under you, helps against Canelo.
New photos of Crawford's physique surfaced online. Fans reacted with curiosity and skepticism. The images showed Crawford in peak condition, with a noticeably sharper and more muscular build. Some questioned whether the photos were authentic or edited to intimidate Canelo before the fight. Showbiz reminded viewers that Crawford has always been disciplined, but the dramatic change sparked debates. It shows just how closely fans examine every detail when it comes to a fight of this magnitude.
And shredded wheat and amazing is this photo photoshopped, because this photo that Ilia Tapora posted of Terence Bud Crawford is the latest photo we've seen, and he looks just less impressive in this photo. Well, the question is really, when were the photos taken? All right, so when you look at this photo and you look at this photo and look at this video of Terence Crawford with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh as Terence Crawford is working out, supposedly just yesterday, right? Which one is Terence Crawford's latest appearance? Because even though this is the latest photo you've seen, doesn't mean this is when the photo was taken. The only reason why people are confused is because this latest photo seems to have been taken in Vegas. And we're approaching fight week and Terence Crawford is already in Vegas. Hence the video with him with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh in Vegas. Now, let me explain all of this. Well, first you gotta look at the hairstyles, right? Terence Crawford in this photo from Ilia Tapora, his hairstyle is totally different than this hairstyle here with Terence Crawford shredded wheat. It is also different than his hairstyle that he has here in the gym with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. You can tell because you can tell how the hair braid, like how it's parted in this photo, and in this photo, they're more parted down the middle, where this video, it's slanted. It's in like a diagonal slant, which I'm thinking is his latest.
Commentator Adam Smith explained why he favors Crawford over Canelo, focusing on timing. He said boxing isn't just about skill, it's also about meeting opponents at the right or wrong stage of their career. Canelo, after years of wars against top competition, may have lost some of his speed and explosiveness. Crawford, on the other hand, is undefeated and at his peak, showing no signs of slowing down. Hungry, motivated, and sharp, he's catching Canelo at a moment when his edge may be fading. For Smith, this fight is perfectly timed for Crawford to prove his greatness.
Be in Vegas to see, I think Terence Crawford beats Canelo, and I think that it's going to be his coming out party. I'd love to be there, and Canelo, of course, an all-time great. Yeah, but listen, I love Ireland, and I'm pleased to be in Belfast with the zone for Crocker and Donovan. There's something about an all-Irish fight which is fantastic, and it was great and controversial first time around. It's even bigger now. So yeah, let's chat over there and get on with it.
Just a quick one on Canelo Crawford. I heard you pick Crawford. You just said it there. How much of that is down to timing and how much of that is down to styles?
A bit of both. I think Canelo is approaching 70 fights. He's been beaten before. Crawford remains undefeated. I think that the jump up is big, but I think he's got the speed, the IQ, the experience, the know-how to be able to handle it. If he's switched on for every minute of every round, I think he wins, and I think he announces himself to the world on Netflix. And I think he deserves it. I think Terence Crawford's only been really known to the trade fans. Canelo, obviously, a bigger name, bigger star. And look, I fancy Crawford in this fight. Look, nothing against Canelo. Maybe it's a little bit of time in the skull fight. I don't know, but there's plenty that fancy Canelo be too big, too strong, too good. It's Crawford for me.
On Talk Sport Boxing, the debate got heated. Some commentators argued that if Crawford loses badly to Canelo, It could be the end of his career at the highest level. While some felt Canelo's size and pressure would overwhelm him, others believed Crawford's skill and intelligence could expose Canelo's weaknesses. The discussion showed just how divided the boxing world is in. How high the stakes are for Crawford's legacy.
So yeah, there's a big argument that Canelo Alvarez starts the favourite going into this one because he's the super middleweight world champion. Bud Crawford jumping up to two weight divisions, and he's jumped up a weight division before that as well, beating Errol Spence. You just look at it and go, it's a massive ask here for Terence Crawford. Something inside me tells me he wins, and we'll get into that later on.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but in the meantime, Canelo, as ever, has left no stone unturned. He's been training at altitude in Sierra Nevada, looking to get the maximum body stamina and preparation advantage. It's something that he's used to. And of course, he's going to effectively be the home fighter because Tex-Mexers will be up in their numbers from Texas. Also, Hispanic fans from all around the United States. The fight is being made on Mexican Independence Day. I don't think you have to be a great crystal ball gazer to know where the bulk of the crowd is going to be rooting when they step out inside those ropes and their names are bellowed out by the ringside announcer afterwards.
Listen, even though the fight happens in America and Terence Crawford is American, it is going to be so pro-Mexican there, because Canelo is accepted. He's like an adopted son there, and Mexican Independence Day, all of that goes so much in favour of Canelo Alvarez. You go, actually, the guy that's a four-division world champion and a superstar of the sport and American will start probably the fan favourite will definitely be Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been training with somebody, sparring with a man who he thinks replicates Crawford's style in sparring many rounds against Yaron Ennis.